Romans are definitely in flux. So you, as the Roman mob, are feeling grumbly. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. As long as the widescreen is up there, just keep going. Yeah, okay, good. Be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor that you may believe. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead, to live all free men? As he loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There's tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak. For him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak. For him have I offended. I pause for reply.
None, Brutus, none.
Then none have I offended. I've done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying. A place in the commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Let him be.
Good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech, tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. So another important concept in organizing, never leave the meeting early. Okay? Very important. Just use the organizer should be the first one there and the last one to leave, because you never know what's going to happen when you're not there. And in this case, I don't know what personal appointments Brutus had on this afternoon that he needed to leave the funeral, but he does. And he's not there to witness what Mark Antony does to the crowd, which of course Mark Antony famously sticking to the letter of his agreement, perhaps not so much the spirit. So now, you are a little bit grumbly as Mark Antony is approaching the funeral pulpit. You gentle Romans, friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often tarried with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you, Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man, so are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful, and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. And Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious. Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I did thrice present him with a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he's an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. Cause withholds you than to mourn for him. On judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Much reasons in his saying. Caesar would not take the crown. To the great wrongs.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to do him reverence. Oh, masters! If I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to rage and mutiny, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself, and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here's the parchment, with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. Let but the commons hear this testament, and they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Yeah, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying, mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
Read the will! Read the will! Read the will!
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood. You are not stones, but men. And being men, it will inflame you, it will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not you are his heirs, for if you should, what should come of it?
Read the will!
Will you be patient? No. Will you stay a while? I've overshot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors. The will. Read the will.
Read it!
Read the will.
You will compel me then to read the will? Then let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend? Will you give me leave?
Yes. Come down, Anthony. Come on.
You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the nervy eye. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors to be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him, and then burst his mighty heart. And with his mantle muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was there, my country. Then I, and you, and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dent of pity. kind souls? What weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself, marred, as you see, with traitors!
What?
Traitors!
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not that made them do it. They are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I'm no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man, with neither wit nor words nor worth, action nor utterance nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds. Poor, poor dumb mouths. And bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and were Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny. Why, friend, you go to do you know not what? Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then, you have forgot the will I told you of. To every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors, and new planted orchards this side Tiber. He hath left them you and to your heirs forever. Common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Never!
Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. Okay, well, now the conspirators are looking in bad shape now. Because